Okay, here we go. Chapter 7. Let's go nice purple. How's that? It says, yeah, number one's really simple. It says he scored 6 touchdowns in 14 games. Find the ratio of touchdowns per game. So you just put touchdowns, which is 6, per game, which is 14. But what does it say? Reduce the fraction. I actually had people leave the answer like this. Come on. So it's 3 over 7, and that's your answer. That's all you have to do. Simple as that. Let's do this one. Solve for x. You could do it. You could cross multiply, but look, x is already on top, isn't it? We've talked about that before, so really, you could just do what in one step? Multiply by 40. Everybody see that? So the 5 goes into 40, 8 times. 8 times 2 is 16. Just like that. That easy. All right, this one right here, you could do it a couple ways. Probably the best way for you to do it would just be go ahead and cross multiply here. But you got to realize something. That right there is it's in parentheses. You got to make that 2. You got to multiply that 2 by everything in here. So if we multiply that all together, what do you get? 2x plus what? 2. Got to distribute, right? The 2 has to be distributed there. That's the big common mistake people would make there. Equals what? 21. Subtract 2 from both sides. It's 19. Divide by 2, and that's your answer. Just leave it like that. There's no reason to put it into a calculator. It just takes extra time. There's no reason to make that a mixed number. It just takes extra time. Can you please? Thanks.
Is that 7 for number 3? Is that on top? 7 over 2?
For number 3?
Yeah.
7? Yeah, this is 7 over 2. Yep. All right, look at this. Find the measures of the angles of a triangle if the ratio of the measures is 5 to 4 to 7. So what we do is this. Let's put this right here. Is that right? So this is where you got to put an x in there. It's 5 times a certain number. So it's going to be 5x. That's actually the measure of one of the angles of that triangle. Plus 4x plus 7x equals, whoops, stay on here, equals what? It says the measures of the angles of a triangle. This is an angle of a triangle. This is a second angle. This is the third angle. What do all 3 angles always add up to be in a triangle? 180 degrees. So it doesn't say 180 in the problem, but it does say the angles of the what? Triangle. So you know a triangle is 180 degrees. Okay, so the key here is to make sure you take the 5 multiplied by x, the 4 and the 7, and set it equal to 180. And then you solve for x. That's not our final answer, though, because we're trying to do what? Find the measures of the angles. All right, so we got to find x first. So that's 9 and 7, which is what? 16x. Somebody do that for me. What's 180 divided by 16? Quick.
11.25.
Oh, it is 11.25? Okay. I thought you were just saying it. Okay. 11.25. Good. That's not my answer, though, is it? It says find the measures of the angles of the triangle. So what do we have to do? Take that x and do what to it? Plug it in here. So it's going to be 5 times x, which is, I don't know, what is 5 times 11.25? Somebody tell me what that is. I don't have the answers in front of me. 56.25. Okay, that's one triangle, or one angle of the triangle. Then 4 times 11.25, which is 45 even. Okay, and then it's 7 times 11.25. 0.75? Okay. So those are my 3 angles of my triangle. Does that make any sense at all? Okay. That's not too bad, is it? All right, just make sure you understand what to do with those things. Set it equal to 180. Solve for x. Plug it back in. A lot of people just write x equals 11.25 and they think that's your answer. Read the problem.
5 times.
Yeah, because it says find the measures of the angles. Yep. Just like this. Just like this. Okay? Yep. Alright, let's get rid of all this mess so I can write some more on this test. Alright. Alright, now what do we have? Oh, this is kind of the same deal, isn't it? Yeah, except they tell you what it all adds up to be. Right here, you had to figure out on your own what it adds up to be because they're angles of a triangle. But this says, we could slide it right here. So what are we going to do? Same exact thing. 3 what? X plus 5x plus 7x equals, it's the perimeter, which means these are the 3 sides of a triangle. It's not 180 this time, because these are what? Sides of a triangle. So they don't add up to 180, they add up to the perimeter. And they tell you the perimeter, which is 450. Let's do the math again. That's 8, and that's 15. equals 450 divided by 15 is what, 30?
Yeah, 30.
Okay, good. So x is equal to 30. It's not my answer, though, because what's it say to find? The measures of what? Each side of the triangle. So I've got 3 times 30, which is 90. And then I have 5 times 30, which is 150. And 7 times 30, which is 210. So that would be my answer right there, those 3 numbers. Make sense? Yeah, that's pretty easy stuff. As long as you know to do that x thing, right? Alright. Let's do this right here. Now what we're doing is we're going with the similar triangle deal. Why are these similar triangles? Let's make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Why are these similar triangles? Because look, I've got this angle equaling this one, and then this one equals this one. So there are similar triangles, and what are we trying to do? Find the value of x. Where is x? It's one of those, right? So what do we have to do? We got to set up a proportion. Remember that? So this side isn't necessarily equal to this side, but it's in proportion. So watch what we're going to do. I don't know. I like the x on the top, so let's put the x on the top. X plus 1. What does x plus 1 correspond to over here? How do you know it's the 6? Look at it. Look at what it's opposite. Look what it, right, exactly. Look at the angle across from x plus 1. It's the 40-degree angle, right? So what side is opposite the 40-degree angle over here? The 12 is. So the x plus 1 and the 12 are actually the ones that correspond to each other. You see that? That's very helpful right there. Don't just try to look at it in your mind, take the triangle, twist it around, flip it, and see which ones match up. Just look to see what angle is opposite that side. So it's opposite 40, that's opposite 40, so that goes with the 12. Right? And then I'm going to go x minus 3 and compare that to what? Well, that's opposite the one with no angle, right? So it's opposite the 6. Of course, there's no other side to even compare it to, so you probably figure it's going to be that. Yeah. So now we have to just cross multiply and solve. We kind of already did this earlier, but let's do this again. So I'll get some more room here. I got some room over here on the right. I'll do the math over here. So what is it? 6x plus what? Plus 6, right? Because we have to distribute. Equals, right, and make sure you distribute it here. 12x minus 36. Okay, that's us already. You gotta be kidding me. All right, let's do this real quick. Minus 6x, which gives you a 6x, right? And then add a 36, which is what? 42. So x is 7, and that's all they wanted you to do anyway, was solve for x, and that's your answer. Sorry we didn't get further, but I'll try to get a little bit further in the next class. That'll be on the 4th period YouTube, okay? So make sure you look for it.